Hello, my YouTubers. Before the Diddy case, I recorded means first and communicate how that case is involved with other cases where they have all sides of the criminal and civil cases and the court's names and names with the judicial branch offices and corrections offices putting fake things into databases. They have the prosecutor's family members too involved with child abusers, leaders of kids, first forced at the same time as their personal and professional roles with foreign and domestic medical families, all men and women involved with sexual and medical offenders of kids. At the same time, with overt criminal enterprises and private ones, and World Trade Center predicate acts. They switch names into branch on a mass scale. These are people like with the name Demaro and Kalal involved with a Phil Kalal, also a bunch of people with whiting forensics involved with a Joshua Julian, also digital crimes with the FBI, changing and faking what's on Facebook, with Facebook too, as roles with this case, with this Diddy case, involved with them too, with secret shifts with the state judicial branch offices and corrections offices of Connecticut and conjunctions to it. They have more World Trade Center attack predicate acts, WFSB attachment to fake conversations with themselves, as their collusions with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, his co-defendants and their family members, and many tied to them involved with forcing fake things in databases at campuses, including with the sexual and medical offenders of kids, first forced years apart, and now further the people that were involved with that further roles then and now. I forced them. I before that was first forced before it was caught. I caught them first, and I caught them with more worse, increasingly. So you guys are preventing me from getting others. You put me in fake conversations with WFSB about the World Trade Center attack. I was in the Ninth Circuit Court and as an observer next to the World Trade Center in Manhattan right before the attack. And it was proven afterwards from inside that court. They were post dated. They changed the date of timely brought into the court legal papers to make them look appear to be late. In the right, and that was shown to the panel of judges right before the World Trade Center attack, right next to it. At the World Trade Center, names next to it, and in that court, and names on all sides of that case too, and their sources, as ones involved with interstates with predicate acts against me and international. Weathersfield, these are also people with Weathersfield police, like one's named Mendez. One of them attached me to fake conversations with him. I didn't have one conversation when I went down there. And my friend, they stole what a sentence I said to my friend. They won't even give me a police report. They just keep at it because that's also confessions. Because they're also forcing everyone to speak. There's a Phil Kalal involved with a Bob Chase with whiting forensics. He has some roles with a police report that was falsified. And they influenced the Bob Chase to tell me he was afraid to look at it or afraid to show it to me. He didn't want to show it to me. They're pretending they're hiding their sources because they're involved with identity theft, fraud, slanders. I never saw a Phil Kalal on my street until after that. He's involved with more people with the gangs and with credible threats against me. And they put fake things in Harper Hospital, fake ties, fake natures of ties to me. They have aggression with like this way with weapons too, and people involved with the Smith family near me and a Kalal family per themselves, per the people at Harper Hospital, and then. In other words, I'm not going to go and have a conversation with people. Sequence shifting, get fake ties, fake nature ties to me, as people enter cities tied to them. Their roles with 3 spots at the end of the Burlington Turnpike and places along town lines. They're not legitimately roles with the other countries, a whole bunch of different countries, Russians, Americans, Ukraine, the same time. Same ones involved with the World Trade Saudi Harvard Hospital has roles with the investigators of the World Trade Center attack. They have collusions with the attack and with the military, with Afghan leaders and kids since I was a kid, as the ones involved at the World Trade Center next to it with those names on and off the state corrections offices and judicial branch offices increasingly. There's a David or someone with the military as one of the military involved with a Joe DeMoro and a Ray Kalal. Tried to make it look like they made a fake exception of Naomi outside of campus. I didn't even respond to him. They have that pretending to be like he knows me. He's increasingly involved with the FBI directors, plural, and they have James Comey's daughter involved with the prosecutors and their kids and judges and their kids involved with forcing sexual and medical offenders, straight up identity theft, fraud, slanders, because they're also tactically delusions raw. That's why you have illegitimate people incapable of having a subject treatment proper, or counters to the improper ones, anything but collusion, screening way worse than founding. We're gonna address the breaching method that shows worse than criminal incompetences with the campuses and on off the state judicial branch offices and corrections offices of Connecticut, recorded increasingly people from Washington, D.C. and New York campuses, including the World Trade Center, involved with and as the predators here per worse. That's why you need to get them on paper, one name and sequence. They've been stacking mass, fake, and changed things as collusions with all natures of crime scenes at the only locations allowed to counter such things, allowed to help the people hurt. You guys got to get them on paper. Follow one name mandated law for them. Judge Napolitano, please do what's right for Fox News. Get me off the fake conversation with WFSB, Channel 3 News, Fox News. These are your sources, and with the intelligence next to you guys too. And you guys are leaking it because you're ignoring me. Get them on paper. That's what bringing